Think you need SUMIFS, AVERAGEIFS, and MAXIFS to analyze group data in Excel? Think again. There's one powerful Excel function that replaces all those formulas or more with something simpler. It's called GROUPBY, and it just might change the way you work with data. In this video, I'll walk you through its basic use and build up to more advanced applications step by step. Let's dive in. We have this sales data with us. Let's start by calculating the total units sold for each product. We would have typically used SUMIFS function or pivot tables, but let's see how can we solve this using GROUPBY. Let's start by writing GROUPBY in the cell G3. The first parameter is called row fields. This means that rows which you want to use to group the data. Since we want to group the data on different types of products, we will select the data from A2 to A25. Note that I'm not selecting the header cell A1 for now. The next parameter is values. Here we will select the units sold from D2 to D25. And the third parameter is called function. Here we will select sum as we want to find the total units sold. To recap, we have selected the row fields which contain the product name. In the values, we selected the units sold. And finally, we told Excel to add the units sold for each group. We will look at the optional parameters soon. Close the bracket and we get all the values including the total. Let's look at the first optional parameter, field headers. This parameter allows us to show or hide the header information. I'm going to copy the formula in the cell G2 to the cell J2. Now in the cell J2, let's add a value for field headers. We have these four options. The option 0 or no is the default option. So if I write 0 here, you will see our result is the same. There's no difference. If I select 1, which is yes but don't show, then we are saying our data contains headers but don't show them in the result. Since our data is from row 2, it treats row number 2 as the header, and you'll see the units sold for laptops and total values have reduced by 20,400. That's because in row number 2, we have the product as laptops and units sold is 20,400. If I now change the value of this parameter to 2, which is no, but generate, we are saying that the data doesn't contain header information, but please generate that information. In this case, we get these made up headers and row 2 is not treated as a header. And if I change the data to start from row 1, and then select the option yes but don't show, then it knows that the first row is header information and not to be included in calculations. And finally, let's look at the last option, yes and show. Excel adds all the values and shows the header information too. Let's look at the next parameter, total depth. Again, we have a few options. If I select 0, it does not show totals row. If I select 1, which is also the default, it shows the total at the bottom of the data. If I select -1, Excel shows the total but at the top of the data instead of the bottom. There are two other options involving subtotals. We will only have subtotals if there are more than one parameters on which the data is grouped. Let's rewrite the formula to group on two parameters. group by. To group on two parameters, we will use the HSTACK function. If HSTACK is new to you, then in a nutshell, it horizontally stacks data. I will include a link for a detailed explanation in the description. A1 to A25 to group the data based on products. And B1 to B25 to group on channels. Values will be the same as D1 to D25. Function will be sum. Field headers will be yes and show. And for total depth, we will select grand totals and subtotals. You can see the result as subtotals for products and a grand total at the bottom of the data. Similarly, if I select grand and subtotals at top or -2, then our result displays the same information but slightly differently. Let me clear this. Now, what if you wanted to sort the data too? You can do that using the next parameter. Group by, select the row fields, values, function, display the field headers and the total too. The next parameter is sort order. Let's sort based on the unit sold. So we will write 2 and our data is sorted in ascending order. If we want to sort in descending order, then we can change this 2 to -2. Now, what if you want to filter the data? Let's say we only want to display the data for laptops. You can do that too without using any additional functions. The next parameter is filter array. So let's select the range on which you want to filter. That is A1 to A25 equal to laptops. And that's it. We see the data only for laptops. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, then make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment with any questions or topics you'd like us to cover. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, Analytics Success, for more tips and tricks on Excel and data analytics. Thanks for watching.